So for the first part of this paper, we provide a review of cybersecurity related regulations. And firstly, we summarize the ones that are related to consumer privacy. So there is a common misconception in prior literatures of consumer privacy and information security. So information security is more related to general sensitive information of organizations, while consumer privacy is more targeted at individual consumer sensitive information. So for the first part, we first discussed consumer privacy related regulations. So for consumer privacy, there is growing tension between the social ethical issues and the firm's economic interest. Especially recently, more and more organizations are using big data analytics and behavioral analysis that violates public norms of accepted data use. So consumer privacy, these consumer privacy regulations are essential to change the privacy management practice of organizations. So here we summarize the US federal level and state level consumer privacy laws. For the federal level, these laws are available for search at the Federal Trade Commission Legal Library. The first seminal law that was signed, act that was signed into law was the Safe Web Act that was signed into law in 2006. It enhances the ability of Federal Trade Commission to provide consumers from significant economic injury and other harms. And other federal level consumer privacy laws are more directed into specific areas of consumer privacy, including like healthcare or payment credit card insurance. And later, and for the next part, we discuss the state level consumer privacy laws. So I'm sure everyone have seen like the recent development of state level consumer privacy laws on news. So there are in total of 4 bills signed into law for the state of California, Colorado, Virginia, and Utah. So these the legal proceedings of different U.S. state level privacy laws are tracked by the International Association of Privacy and Professionals. It's an association that tracks these the legal proceedings of these laws, and the bills of these state level laws mostly pose regulatory scrutinies on both business operations and disclosures of consumer privacies. And these summaries that the IAPP provides includes the consumer's rights and also business obligations. And for those that are signed into law already, they provide more detailed information like the scope of the law and also the enforcement of the law. As you can see on the 2 charts in this slide. And you can refer to these charts on their website for more detailed information. But basically, these bills can be categorized into 2 levels of regulatory scrutiny. So one level is a more strict level, also the California line of consumer privacy laws. So basically, this line of laws, they guarantee a global opt-out option for consumers, which means by a click of a button, you can opt out of all the data collection and data use from websites. And also it gives consumer the right to take legal actions against violations to this laws from business operations. And the other line of law is the Virginia line of weaker, which has the weaker regulatory scrutinies. So you basically provide opt-out consent, but it does not necessarily have to be global. So which means you have to go see the detailed consumer privacy policies of each website, and you have to spend hours to opt out of these services. So, and also this line of laws don't approve of consumers' right to take legal actions against violations. So this is the basic introduction of the consumer privacy related regulations. And some international consumer privacy regulations are also summarized by the IAPP. We can see that some seminal laws include the ones from Canada, from China, Colombia, and the European Union. And there are some other countries summarized by the IAPP on their website. You can refer to in more detail. So they also they provide summaries regarding the individual rights, business obligations, scope of law, and enforcement of law of these international consumer privacy laws. And for the next part of the regulation review, we provide the information security related regulations. So the information security business practice is has less attention against firms' economic interest, and firms are more willing to voluntarily adopt more technologies, tools to enhance their information security practice. So basically, the SEC, CPA, and the federal government are working towards improving information security business operation and disclosure over the years. For the federal law in 2002, of course, the SOX provides an implicit requirement for business to establish and maintain internal controls over financial reports, which includes the cybersecurity internal controls that affect that would have impact on financial reports. So in recent years, most recently in 2022, and the Cyber Incident Reporting Act was signed into law by the president, and which mandates the prompt and consistent reporting of cybersecurity breaches. And other federal level laws that provide administrative, physical, and technical safeguards to businesses, including these two listed on the slide. So for SEC and AICPA's effort in regulating business operation and disclosure of information security are summarized in this slide. So from 2005 to 2011 and onward, the SEC published several guidance regarding cybersecurity risk factor disclosure that requires businesses to contextualize their cybersecurity risk disclosure of material changes, including materials changes in risk factors. So most recently in 2022, the SEC has a new proposal for their risk factor guidance. So this guidance includes more detailed regulations on disclosing organizations' risk management strategy and governance and incidents related to cybersecurity. For AICPA, they post the service organization cybersecurity reporting guidance in 2017. So basically, for service organizations that hold, store, process clients' information, they have to file a SOC 1 report if their service have material impact on the client's financial reporting, or they have to file a SOC 2 reporting if the service that they provide don't have significant impact on the client's financial reporting, but they also have to provide SOC 2 reporting to assure its security, the service security, availability, integrity, and confidentiality and privacy. And for the most recent development of international information security related regulations, these laws and regulations can be found, and they are summarized by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development website. So in summary, 71% of countries have consumer privacy laws, and over 80% have cyber crime laws. Some most recent development or efforts that are made by other countries include the Chinese new the Chinese new measures for cybersecurity review that is signed into law in 2022 by the Cyberspace Administration of China. So basically, this law requires states that any activities of service organizations might be subject to the government review if they have if the service have any impact on national security of China.